Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Little doing a video this week a little bit earlier than normal. Of course, I start talking and Maya comes rolling in to say hi. Good girl. Um, I actually took the day off work. It's my first day off in about 3 months. There she is. How you doing, girl? Say hi to everybody. It's a good girl. Don't eat the microphone. Good. Hey, say hi. Hi. All right, off you go. Good girl. She'll be back. Um, So, I had tonight off from work. I took a vacation day. I have a lot of stuff I want to get done around the house. As you can tell, I'm a little bit more energized because I basically slept most of the day to catch up on some sleep. 14-hour days will do that to you. Had a good kind of interesting conversation yesterday with a guy at work who's looking at buying his first home. And then it just dawned on me, that would actually make his first home in the real world. It would actually make for maybe somewhat of a good off the cuff video in Eve, because that's what I've been basically doing for the last several weeks with this new character, flying around, setting up little homes all over the place, and then looking for which areas that suit my gameplay. And I thought, and this is not planned whatsoever, I would use the same concepts that I used when I bought my first house. Um, to make a long story short, about, I guess it'd be 13 years ago, my mother passed away. And this is the real world stuff. I'll go through it real quick. But she left me just enough money that I might be able to put a down payment on a house. And, or, and I, so it was very important to me to use that money correctly. I came up with an idea at the time, um, and that was to figure out three priorities when I was going to buy that house, what I wanted in the house. That way, because a lot of times, and I said this to my buddy yesterday, when you start looking for something and then you're always dealing with a salesman or something like that, they're going to show you all the glitzy and the glamour, and somehow you'll then decide that you need a jacuzzi in your house. Um, or a hot tub. And really, you didn't need it. And you get in there and you've spent the money, and now you've got something that you don't really want. So I spent, I tried to keep it really simple. I knew the first house I bought wasn't going to be my last house, most likely, unless I got really lucky. But I did want to invest in it, and I did, and I was there for about 8 or 9 years until I moved into my current little abode. Um, so I came up with this idea back then, and I'll do it real quick. So I told myself um, I wanted three things for my house, and any house that I bought had to have at least one of them. And this is really, really simple. I said, um, I want the house to either have a yard, so I can have boop, a dog, and be able to play with the dog in the yard. I wanted it to have off-street parking or a garage, or one of the three. Um, it had to have the ability to pay for itself, i.e., have rent-outable rooms or be split into an apartment or something like that. So that because I was on limited funds at the time, which I always have been, so I want to make sure that I had that backed up. So if I had one of the three, then the house was a possibility. If I had two of the three, then it was definitely a possibility. If it was number three, if I had three of the three, then it was might be my house that I want for the rest of my life. Well, taking that, and I ended up buying a house that gave me two of those things. It gave me a small backyard, and I was able to rent out rooms to friends of mine while I was living there to supplement the paying for the house. Um, I'm going to use that same concept with flying around in this video and kind of coming up with some ideas as to what you want, because a lot of times I think when you're in Eve, there's so many options that you can do, um, that you start to go down a hole, and then you forget what your initial plan was to do. Now my initial plan with this character was to try out flying with a Caldari character, and do the Caldari lifestyle in a little bit of a way using missiles and stuff like that. As you can see right now, I'm flying it around in a Mari ship. Um, so the concept of this character has changed a little bit. I just want to try out a bunch of different things. But as far as finding homes and long-term homes, my ultimate goal is to have 4 separate, homes all throughout that have main stuff that I need all throughout the low sec and NPC null sec areas, so that anytime I jump out from a wormhole, I can get to stuff that I need, that sort of thing. So if you want to watch my previous videos, it was creating a venture and getting a backpack together and setting up out in Stackman, near Stackman. And then this one I've started out here in Tashmerkin. Um, and I'm doing my first foray into the system of stain. Now, whether or not I get out here is actually part of the home hunting, the house hunting. Maybe that'll be the name of the video, House Hunting and Eve, of what you want to do. But what I'm looking for these long-term areas are right now, and these things can change for you, but you- I think going with a plan, I should really be descanning right now. Okay, nobody's looking at me. Um, I'm in a nice safe spot. So, but so I was going to slowly, as I think about it here and as I fly, come up with 3 things that I want for my first NPC nullsec area. And I'll tell you, I know one of them. One of them is a definite. And let's go ahead and pull up Dotland here. So right now I'm in Seminar. And I'm about to jump into F7 IC. So what are the 3 things that I'm looking for in all of Stain here that I would definitely at least want part of? A lot of times you're not going to be able to get all of them. So let's just pull up, I'm going to pull up a notepad in here in the game itself. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't pull up a map here to show you guys. So this is this is Stain here. I'm currently in Seminar. I'm about to jump into Stain, which is going to be dicey. And then I'm going to slowly work my way around in certain areas here. So the first one is, we're going to go notepad. And I could use this on other things, but I like using a little notepad in the game. There we go. And we're going to create a new note. And house hunting. Cool. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's my notepad and my note. I forgot it was under my big head under the bottom. So, I'm gonna hit B here just to make sure. There we go. Descanning. We got a little mauler out there. I'm not too worried right now. I'm just looking for some combat probes if somebody wants to shoot me. And drink a little coffee. So priorities. Let's just write priorities here. Just so just have it staring me in the face. Number 1. My number 1 priority is it has to have a factory accessible factory to build stuff and dock up. Okay. Now that could either be an NPC station or it could be a player-controlled station that is a freehold, a free station that you can get in and out of. And so that's the first one because that mm, is really pretty important if you're really trying to live out in an area, if you're trying to do the scavenger lifestyle that I know. The second one here, I know that I want to get into once I go um, uh, and become Omega with this character is I wanted to have decent planetary interaction. Now, reason why I want to have this, I'm not going to go full tilt into planetary interaction, but I do want to, once I find places that I want to stay, I want to have it, um, I'm going to set up long-term planetary interaction that I can just pick out once a week really quickly, grab some stuff and get that extra little money that comes in. Nothing crazy, but just something that I can do. And then by doing that, I can possibly maybe build a few other things that are out there. And then the third one here This is accessibility to HiSec. Now, when I say this, this is how close I am to getting to HiSec and how easily I can get in and out. Now, I'm not fooling myself. If I'm hauling stuff in and out, like blueprints or things like that, or maybe down the road stuff that I build, I have to have the ability to get that stuff in and out of the area. Um, it's never going to be easy living in NPC nullsec. Living in NPC nullsec, you've got other players that are wanting that kill, but I want to know what the distance is to get in and out, and I also want to know um, uh, how hard it is to get in and out. We're going to about to test part of that here when I'm about to go through this uh, through this jump gate. Now, are any of these game changers? No. Can I live out here or in an area without any of these? Yes. Um, for an example, accessibility to high sec. I've lived in nullsec before. I took a exploration ship out. I actually lived in Stain before, and most of the time when I went in and out, I used the jump. I used wormholes to get in and out. I didn't actually fly to and from through gates. That's one way you can get around that. But I don't want to rely on that, or at least if I want to get something in or out, or if somebody wants to come out and join me and hang out, I want to have that ability to get in and out if I really want to. Uh, Decent planetary interaction depends on what you're looking for. If I just want to do base level 1, 2, or 3 of planetary interaction, if I'm just creating the stuff and selling it on the market, do I need it to be super robust? No, and everywhere has planets. But I do need to look to see who controls the customs offices, and what the tax rates are on those things, that sort of thing. Last but not least, accessible factory to build stuff and dock up. Um, this is probably the tougher of the three to get around, but you can do it using mobile depots, maybe even in the future teaming up with friends of yours so that they can move out with you and both set up areas out there, that sort of thing. You can do the politics of asking for access to different groups or even join a group that's out there. Um, but in general, these are the three that I'm looking for that when I find my first home out in the NPC nullsec, I want all three of these to be, at least one of these three to be usable. If I fly out to an area that none of these three are there, but it looks kind of cool, that has a cool jacuzzi, that's not good enough for me, and that's what I want to look for. So the next couple weeks are going to be kind of fun because I'm going to be flying this little magnate or whatever little exploration ship I have to different areas, not just in Stain, but over in Curse and maybe over in Providence or things like that. And actually, Providence might be my next video, which if I have the time, I might put out later on this weekend, because I've never really spent much time out there, but I have an opportunity to go out there that might be pretty good. So let's get into some fun. Um, Now, do these three things actually cover everything? No. But what they do is it gives you a base to start with. Now, what I'm going to do is start flying to these areas and checking them out because there might be those jacuzzis I want to sit in, or there might be road damage that make it harder for me to get in and out of town. Traffic at certain times might be too busy, just like in the real world. But flying out there, check out the area. An example for my buddy that I gave yesterday because he was just starting to look at houses. I said, before you even go look at a house, before you get a real estate agent in the real world, go drive by it. How hard is it to get there? A great example is, let's say you drive over to a house and the house looks great in the picture or on a dot land map because all the numbers look great. But when you get done, um, when if I drive to the next town over because this house looks great, and then I'm driving around the neighborhood and um, there's beer cans on the front porches, and people sitting out staring at you, maybe that might not be where you want to live. Same thing with Eve. Maybe if trying to get in and out of Stain through this little jump that I'm about to do, If I try to do it a couple times, I get blown up every single time because a certain corporation is sitting out there camping it all the time. That might not be a spot I want to be. So, enough said. Let's see if I can get myself blown up. So right now, this is the alpha character, so I can't use a cloak. Now I'm about to jump into F7 Tech ICZ. I'm not going to kill myself with this. This is a magnet that I built by myself with junk parts in pay. So if I die, I'll jump right back over there. But I get to test out some different things. Now I did throw on a basic relic, basic data scanner, a little bit of a micro warp drive, and a scanning pod. Did I upgrade it at all? No. There's a lot of things I could have thrown onto it, but this is my initial just fly out here. Literally, this has nothing else on it other than those things because it's easily replaceable. And it allows me to scan stuff if I want to, but I don't need to bother with anything. I might start building some other things and upgrading the ship a little bit more for the initial explorations. Once I really start liking an area, then I'll fly out a really well-fit magnet or something like that. So let's see here. Enough said. We've got F7 Tech ICZ. Now, when you are a alpha and you don't have a cloak, um, you need to check out an area. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just click on the system of F7 Tech ICZ. Now, if you notice here, I always check the last 6 hours. There were how many pod kills? So 1 hour ago, there was one pod kill. And then the current uh, hour, there was one pod kill. Notice right here, one ship kill, one ship kill. So somebody's killing somebody out here. Now the question is, are they gate camping the jump in, or are they gate camping the another jump coming out, or something else going on there? Where am I going here? And I just want to show the map. Here we go. So are they, most likely they are gate camping the spot that I'm taking out right here. Okay, that I'm jumping in. If there's a warp bubble right here, I'm in pretty rough shape and I'm probably going to die. Now, could they be gate camping this spot or any one of these? It's probably very unlikely they're gate camping these two. They're probably gate camping one of these two spots because it's either coming in or going out of stain. How can I figure that out? Well, we take the system 5-7 TAC ICZ, swing over here, go I F7. Do I have ICZ? Good. See where I have stain? Now I'm on Z kill board, pulling up the system. It should hopefully bring up the last two kills. There is so this kill was at 132. It was both a catalyst and a and its pod. Let's see here. What is my current time? So at 132, so 342. So this was probably the one that happened 2 hours ago, because it's almost 2 hours since then. So there's been a kill since then, but hasn't uploaded to Z Killboard. So let's go back over to Z Killboard. Good. So the second thing you want to do is you want to actually pull up the actual kill. So I'm going to pull up this catalyst here that got killed. And we're going to look to see where the blow up happened. And there it is. See where it says here, the location that this catalyst was blown up at was at the Stargate going to Salmoneer. That's where you can figure out, is there a very good chance that there's a bubble right there? And right here it says there is. Now this was 3 hours ago, but we also know that there was a blow up within the last 2 hours ago. So there was a slight chance that there's actually a pretty good chance there's a bubble on the other side of this. And you know what? I'm dumb. I'm gonna go right through and get myself blown up because I want to show you guys. And you never know; they might not be there. Now, if I had a cloak or a better ship with an Omega count, then this would not be as much of an issue. I know how to get through these types of situations pretty much 95% of the time. Um, but if you want to test something out, fly a ship that's barely fit, throw it in, and see if you're going to get yourself blown up. So, you guys ready to watch me get blown up? Here we go. I say this all the time. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and jump on through. Scan a band. Actually, I'm going to stop for 1 second because I realized one other thing that I can do. Align that. So here's the trick I'm going to try. So when I descanned, I saw this mauler that was sitting out here. I want to see if this mauler is on the gate that I'm going through. So let's take a gander over here. I'm going to slow. This will just give me a little bit more information. And then, so it doesn't look like that mauler is on the gate. Okay. Got a venture here. Okay, you guys ready? Let's go get blown up. The other thing I like to say, I've watched a lot of videos back in the day, and they said you need to get yourself blown up in Eve so you're not afraid of getting blown up. And I 100% agree with that. Take yourself out in a jump. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Hold on. Did you guys see that little bit there? Okay. So just a second ago, as I was coming into the gate, I saw on my overview, I'm warping back to my safe spot. There was it was just really briefly um, a guy in my overview. Now, I think he was warping away from the gate. I don't remember seeing a flare from the gate itself. Um, but the question is, so if you see something like that, take a second, think about what you're doing. Now, what I had hit jump as soon as I go through the gate. I hit control space to stop myself from jumping. That's one quick way to stop yourself. If you're warping in, a lot of people know this, but those few people that don't, I didn't know it for the longest time. If you have gone jump to jump to another gate and you haven't warped to it and then hit jump, or anywhere, if you hit control space, that will stop you from your next action once you come out of warp. Just hit control space a couple times till it hits, and you should be fine. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that once the bottom area down here goes from warp to, let's get myself over here again, align. Um, Once you go from the warp area down here to a speed, make sure you hit that control space. That'll stop you, and then you can reassess. And like I warped back, okay? But now I'm going to do the same thing because I really want to die. But I thought that might be a teachable moment. Haha. Here we go. Let's see what we got. And I'm kind of hoping I die because I need more coffee. So here we go. I'm betting there's like an 80% chance there is a warp bubble on the other side of this gate. And they get to kill a 700-ish thing. So look in here. Look in there. No warp bubble. Cool. So let's just get right off this gate as quickly as possible. So, got a little bit lucky there. Now I don't know. There's a sinusoidal field here, so somebody's doing that, bringing something in through that way. I got off that gate as quickly as possible. I had flown through here a bit ago for a little bit, and I set up a save spot. Save spots are great. Now what I'm going to do is get myself into motion, get off this gate. Very first thing I want to do is start hitting V. V, I'm descanning to see if I see any combat probes. Once I see none are out, I'm going to go ahead and pause my afterburner. And then here's the last trick, because I'm going to go get some more coffee. I'm going to log off safely. Reason why I'm logging off safely, and we can descan while I'm sitting here. I just want to make sure I'm not caught right before I leave. I'm going to log off the game in system. Um, and then go do whatever I need to do. Then I'm going to log back in and it's going to bring me back in. Most people out here are going to assume that whenever you show up in your local right here, that means that you're coming through a gate, so they're going to start looking for you there. If you log off in space, you're going to be a little bit safer for a little while, because they're going to be your first thought if you're defending an area or trying to snag people. And play or kill people, um, you will think they're coming through a gate. You're not going to think that they're just coming in from a random spot. Second thing you might think of is that they came in at a station. Maybe there's no station there. But so I love actually logging off in space, especially when I'm in NPC nullsec, because that gives me an added little bit amount of time to confuse people a little bit before they can start hunting me. So, what I'm gonna end up doing for the rest of the day, the night, is grab some more coffee. Um, let's see here. There's my kill. Go back over to Stain, and I'm just gonna start checking out this first constellation. Now, a long time ago, about a year or two ago, I used to live down in this constellation here, but I don't want to be, I may end up being there, setting up a spot there. It was a good little spot, but I want to check out each constellation as I go through. I remember what it used to be like. I remember this wasn't too bad of a constellation here. The one next door was a spot where a lot of players would try to snag people trying to kill them. Never know if it's changed. Same thing with the next one here. A lot of people through this main road would try to snag them um, between LC Tech 1ED up all the way up through FJ Tech UEX. So just flying around with a cheap ship, you can check some stuff out. I'm gonna see what's available, what the traffic is like in the area, and then maybe even make a little bit of ISK with my exploration stuff that's on the ship. Um, and just do a couple passes, a couple drive-throughs through the neighborhood to see what the housing is like in the area. So, but now I've talked too much, and Miss Maya has shown up, so she wants to go play too. Um, so I'm gonna go mess with her. Hope you guys have a great weekend, great Sunday. I have finally gotten a little bit of rest in me, so hopefully I'll have another video either Monday or Tuesday. And I'll give you guys an update as to what I've done, if I've died, that sort of thing. So other than that, have a great night. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however like you want. Have a good one.